Ladies and gentlemen, for the 808th time, it is the Mason and Friends Show, featuring His Junus, aka that dude called Unit, as well as Sir Chokes-a-Lot, aka Big Mike.
Yeah.
Me, I am Mahoney. Welcome to the Mason and Friends Show.
What's happening, y'all? What's good out there today?
Oh man, Mike, just living the dream.
There you go, there you go.
You know, keeping it moving, having good times, hanging out with my folks, my peoples, talking shit, doing things. All up in the place to be.
Ain't that the truth there?
Trying to tell you, seeing crazy things, making crazy plans, trying to talk to crazy people. And
you know what? That ain't a bad thing.
It's not bad at all, man.
Like, hell, the people I run into outside, you know, when I'm doing my thing at work and whatnot, man, you know, I run into a whole different kind of characteristics. Like, this one dude, it was funny because I just stopped and talked to him. He came out and said something to me, and I think he was a customer where I was at. And we're just shooting the shit, you know, nothing major, just talking. And I was like, man, you know, it was good talking to you, sir, but I gotta wrap this shit up. Like, my truck's done pumping. I gotta go. And like, just that moment right there, the dude like stops. He goes, look, man, I really appreciate you taking the time just to talk to me. Like, not even on anything. We weren't talking no worldly shit. Just actually just having just a random conversation. I couldn't even tell you what we talked about.
You know what? It's what I keep going back to. Just be nice to people. You were just being nice to the guy. You weren't like fuck off.
Nah, we were just.
But people are like fuck off.
Oh yeah, a lot of times, man, and they throw you off with that shit because it's like, yo, I'm just saying hi. I mean, fuck you. All right, like
this,
then.
Well, fuck
this
you too.
One dude, man, I shit you not, I was at the Walmart grocery shopping.
Fuck you too.
And fucking this old dude is in there, and I happened to look at him. I was like, how you doing, sir? He goes, he said something just like, well, I'm like, well, all right, well, you have yourself a good day. What's good about the day? And it triggered me to be like, you know what, fucker, I gotta answer this fucker right now.
My balls don't hurt, fucker. That's what's good about today.
Did you not wake up? Did you not wake up today? That's all I'm saying. You woke up today, so your day is already good. You gotta make it whatever the fuck you. Ain't nothing about the day good. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna sit here and entertain this. Well, I hope you have a good one. That's not gonna happen either. Okay, that's what you choose. Ain't knocking my shining, bitch. I gotta go get me some bread.
Goddamn right.
Yo, Jude, have you ever tried this, man? I made these grilled fucking ham, Swiss, Dijon fucking grilled cheese sandwiches, man. With this shit I found on fucking Walmart, this croissant bread. Like, what's the motherfuckers that make the goddamn muffins? Who are the people that make the muffins? The orange and
Thomas's English muffins.
Okay, so they make this shit called croissant bread. Bruh, I ain't never gonna do grilled cheeses without using this bread ever again. Like, this bread is like the perfect bread to make fucking the grilled cheese shit, man, with the ham and the fucking Swiss and all that shit. Man, I made a turkey provolone.
A ham and Swiss croissant.
Man, what? Oh, bruh, I think I ain't got no bread in the house. I used it all already.
Look at you, Mike.
Bruh,
culinary master.
Look, I found that shit and I was like, yeah, look, I can mix some shit up with this motherfucking stuff, man. Like, I was thinking about getting like pepperoni, some mozzarella, you know, a little bit of that marinara. Fucking butter the bread up with some fucking garlic butter and parmesan. Shh, boy, what? Fuck out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chef Mike, brought to you by Tracy's dog.
I like how that it's got the T and the D as a theme.
Yeah.
In the ball.
A T and a D as a
T and a D. See that dick there? That's a T and a D.
Yeah, I like that.
That dick
I like
there.
how they do business.
I do too. I appreciated them. They was like a whole lot more fun than like the other place. They were like right there to tell you. They'd have been like, yeah, this thing tickles your balls. Chazzy was just like, you better read that box. You know what I'm saying?
Say you better read that box.
Better read that box.
What it's gonna do, but you read that box.
Ain't nobody here to talk to you. You better read that box.
Yeah, figure it out.
I mean, they had some fucked up shit. Like some fucked up shit. Like that sounds, urethral sounds things you stick in your dick hole, and them motherfuckers was like a foot long, son. That shit was fucked up.
No.
I was like, ooh, no, thank you.
But there's motherfuckers that they have it because there's a lane.
Like they say, don't knock it. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta knock it because I'm not sticking something. You gotta be real. You gotta be on some different level of shit.
Yeah, you gotta be on one.
To stick some shit down your damn fucking pee hole.
No, well, you got somebody doing it to you, but still, no, thank you. I mean, I guess some people might do it to
it's
themselves.
like some kind of stimulation if you fucking go through a pee hole.
Everything's a stimulation of a type,
bro.
I don't think it's the type that I want to feel.
That would make you do the little.
Oh yeah, you want to twitch?
You're gonna do the little shitty thing.
These shits is gonna make you hurt, is what it looked like to me. I'm like, nah, that doesn't look painful, right?
See, I ain't never had a catheter, but people talking about how bad catheters hurt.
Well, look, I can tell you this: when I had a catheter, when I had my hernia mesh removal surgery, of course I didn't feel it because they put it in me when I was out, and they took it out of me when I was out.
Yeah.
But strangest of things can happen when you've had a catheter. Like I was peeing and my dick hole was farting.
Yeah, the air.
There was air pockets in my bladder.
You was queefing out.
I was queefing out my dick hole. Like it was like.
Like you was priming.
There was pee, and then the air came, and then there was some air, and it was like. And then there was more pee, and then there was air. And I was like, God damn, what the fuck? And like, because I could feel it in, like, you know, like when you fart, you can feel it in your booty.
Oh yeah.
Like I could feel it in my dick hole, and I was like, well, God damn, but I imagine if you were getting all that urethral sounding,
It's kegling out here, man.
you might be up in there like, you know, farting out your dick hole on a regular basis.
He says urethra sound, so they're vibrating like some.
No, sounding is when they stick something in your dick hole.
Okay.
That's what the sex act is called. Yeah, it's crazy.
No,
it's real scary shit. I'm like,
yeah,
can I eat your pussy and have sex with you, please? Like, can you like not stick stuff in my booty hole and my pee hole? Like, can we do stuff that's like angled up and keep things out of my holes?
The pee hole just is like.
Yeah, I'd much rather take it in the ass than the pee hole.
Oh man, wait a minute. Oh my God, if you had to have a choice.
The option of taking booty hole.
Oh man.
I'd rather something a foot long in my ass than my pee hole.
Yeah, because
I've shut out something a foot long before.
Yeah,
I'll be alright.
I'd have to agree with you on that one, but God damn, if you had the choice, oh man, wow. Oh, that's a fucked up choice.
Alright, y'all, so back to Exxxotica. I did a little interview session.
Yeah, let's see what this sounds like.
So what I want to do is I want to go with the shorter one first, which is about a 5-minute session where I talk to this couple.
Yeah.
It's a couple years older than us that are doing it on the camera stuff.
Okay.
And then we're going to listen to me talking to Ivy Minxxx. And we're going
to they're like OnlyFans.
Kinda, like, yeah, but it's on Chatterbait. They're Chatterbait here. It says on their card they're a camming couple, BDSM enthusiast, and amateur shibari suspension play, and all-around kinksters.
All right.
So yeah, these folks were real nice, and I don't know. Let's just see what happens. We're experimenting with show formats and such right now, ladies and gentlemen. So bear with us.
This is exclusive, ladies and gentlemen. You're hearing it for the first time.
Shout out to Curtis Mayfield for the smooth background. All right, we'll see how this sounds.
Have y'all introduce yourselves? Hey, what's up? My name's Mason from the Mason and Friends Show podcast. I am here at Exxxotica in DC, which is technically Chantilly, Virginia, with a couple from the Chatterbait area. What's your guys' name?
We are Butterfly and Bear.
Butterfly and Bear. Cool. And how long have you guys been doing what live streams?
Right, yes.
About a year.
About a year, a little over a year.
Okay. And you do that as a couple? Nice. Now, is this, I mean, clearly you guys have been doing this for a year and you're here, so you're kind of like well known in the Chatterbait realm, I guess, to make it to this is kind of like the big time, right?
It's not really well known.
You have to have at least 5,000 followers to be able to
and to be invited to do the booth. As far as well known in the Chatterbait community, not really. We're known by all the models that do the conventions. But there's thousands of models all across the world that barely know us. But as far as the models from the booth, yeah, we all know each other.
Right on. Now, can I ask how old you guys are?
Sure. I'm 46.
44.
Okay, right on. Now I'm 41, so it's not like I think you'll be all this like way outside of my age range or whatever. But it's definitely like you've been doing it for a year, so it's not something that you necessarily like thought of. You weren't 20 and you were like, well, one of these days I'm gonna be naked on the internet.
No, never would have thought I would have gotten him this far.
So what was the catalyst?
So it was
Apparently.
it was her that made the decision.
That's
like,
what that sounds like. She was leaning
already
into it.
it first.
Well, like, here, let's listen to more.
Ivy.
Ivy, just Ivy being Ivy.
We both followed her separately, and because of our work schedules, we hardly saw each other. And so when we did, we would compare models that we liked or stars or whatever, and Ivy was one of them.
So you all had followed her commonly between the two of you without intending to.
Exactly.
Yeah. Very cool, very cool.
And Edison, the Exxxotica up in Edison last year was the first Exxxotica event we've ever attended. Now, we weren't working with it, we just attended as patrons. And that was the first time we met Ivy. And she was so sweet and so inviting, and immediately we became friends. And then after the Edison Exxxotica, we sat and talked, and we said, you know what? It looks like so much fun. Let's try it. So we decided to start camming ourselves, and we've been doing it for over a year now.
Right on. And were you a couple before then?
Yes, we have been together for almost 30 years. We've been married for about 25 years.
Okay. So after 20-something years of marriage, you were like, hey, let's open it up for everybody else to see.
All right, well, so here's the thing. We met in high school, and then one of her favorite sayings is, go ahead.
One day in band camp, I met the love of my life.
We did meet in band camp in high school.
Oh shit!
Stick a flute in your pussy?
No.
I played the clarinet.
I was a trumpet. I did not stick the trumpet up my butt.
Yeah,
so.
neither of those would be good orifice.
So we met in band camp. I was a senior. She was a freshman.
Right on, dude.
I graduated, and then that following summer, she got pregnant, and then we had our son.
God damn, they ain't waste no time.
When she graduated high school, we were raising a family. We were raising our kids. We were both working. So we felt we never got that opportunity like most of our friends go off to college and party. We never had that. We had to grow up fast.
Yeah, you jumped right into adulting.
Yeah. So then once our kids were grown and they're off on their own now, we said, it's our time to play. So
How the kids feel about it?
Let's do it. So that's what we, like I said, it started off, we individually joined the chat rooms, we talked to the models and all. Then we started attending the Exxxotica events, and like we fell in love with what everybody does, and it's just so, it's exciting knowing that somebody's on the other side of the screen enjoying us, just enjoying each other.
Right.
And it's just exhilarating, so we love doing it.
You like doing it, and you like sharing it as well.
Yes.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
And honestly, I didn't realize how much he loved just watching me get pleasure until recently. Just watching him sit there with a big old smile on my face as I'm getting tips galore, I'm squirting all over the damn place, and he's being like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, like a lot of guys like watching their girl come.
I did not realize how much he enjoyed it until,
Yes, that's right. Ladies and gentlemen, be aware. Ladies specifically, guys like watching you come.
Yes.
It's a good thing.
We do.
Absolutely.
That's true.
Oh, I learned real quick, too. I learned real quick.
So you just really like open it up and let it fly.
My horny button is stuck on, and there's no way of fixing it.
You're a lucky man. Very cool.
So, yeah.
Right on. Well, shit, I don't know what else to ask. That's you guys are clearly a happy couple having a good goddamn time. That's what it's about. Well, I'm going to wrap this up then. This is Mason at the Mason and Friends show with, give me your names one more time.
Butterfly and bear.
Butterfly and Bear. Right on. Well, you guys, thanks for letting me talk to you for a bit and record it. And
Thank you so much.
All right, so
Now, I wonder what their kids think because they got together in high school. They're just fucking a year or two older than me.
Right.
So their fucking son or their child has to
like
be 20.
20-ish. Yeah, the kid's 20-ish.
Yeah. So I wonder if his homies have ever seen his parents fucking. Because they're still in their prime right now. Like, they're
Well,
not.
but the thing is, a lot of people are fucking online and a lot of people are watching. So it's more than just like the kids' friends. Like,
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, do you think that fucking, okay, so June.
Just tell him, man. Don't watch no Dimple or the Wolf films because
Dimple
you're
and
gonna
Wolf
see your
films.
dad and your mom probably out there fucking dog. Like, you know how you going to Harvard? Well, there's titties in that ass. All right, so don't be looking up.
Harvard got paid for off a booty.
Don't be looking up these names unless you want to see something you don't really want to see. Like, I don't know what to tell you. That's my disclaimer.
I don't know, man, because fucking, the people, like Kim Kardashian's kids, the people know
You gonna
who
stop
you
doing
are.
porn if your kids find out and your daughter don't want you to do porn, but it's paying your way?
I mean, if I'm making bank off of like,
Yeah.
hey, look, this is what
It
daddy's
is
doing.
what it
I mean,
is.
you gonna stop porn because your kids
Like,
not.
dick
You gonna
pays
make money.
bills.
You know what I mean?
Like, look, this dick is getting you through a lot of shit right now.
Well, but it's a kind of a side hustle for some folks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you could do that as well as your normal job. But, like, they were saying in the porno, like, how to break into biz thing, they were like, they'd probably fire you from your job if you get, like, really popping.
Yeah, because of certain shit, ethics, you're not representing
Yeah,
the company.
certain
Which
clauses.
I'm not on the clock.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah, that's how I
If
feel
I ain't
about
on
it.
the fucking clock, I ain't gotta represent you at all. I don't even want to represent you when I'm on the motherfucking clock.
Right?
Like, somebody had asked me, I think it was where I'm at now. It was like, yo, you don't wear your hoodie out and about that we got you for what? Why? I wear it when I'm here, but
Yeah, I
outside
wear it
here,
when I work. I don't wear it in
I wear-
public
I
when I'm
wear all
out.
the shit, like-
when I'm out chasing bitches and
Why would I
whatnot.
want to represent the company I work for? I don't understand that.
You wear Fat Boys Fuck Better shirts. You don't wear your fucking job title shirt.
I'm not wearing that. Yeah, I'm rocking some shit like this.
Right.
Some shit, Mason and Friends gear all
Right.
the time. Every time somebody see me, I'm always
RFKJ, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Mason
just-
and Friends show gear.
But it's what I want to have on. Like, even if the shit was comfortable gear.
That's literally how I'm getting these days. All I wear is like RFKJ shit, Mason and Friends show shit,
Yeah.
and like other shirts that I like if I'm not at work.
But I'm like, yo, like I've done this at every company. Like the line striping company I used to work at, them motherfuckers was like, oh man, we don't want to see none of y'all outside working in your gear and doing this, man. Well, who the fuck does that though? Like, if I'm outside of the house and I need a coat, I'm rocking the shit because I ain't fucking up my good shit. I'll rock the company
Well,
shit
right.
to
Yes.
fuck that up.
Yes.
Like, I don't give a damn.
Well, like I keep old company stuff,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like I will wear that when I'm out working on the car
Yeah, when
or
I'm
some
doing shit getting fucking dirty and shit like that, man, fuck that gear. Y'all gave it to me to do this shit with.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, fuck, man, is that a good company to work for? What are you talking about? I had one dude ask me that before. I had something on, I think I was showing Snow, and they're like, oh man, hey, I heard about that company. Is that a good company to work for? I'm like, what are you talking about?
You know what company stuff I wear? Companies I've never worked for. Or companies that don't even exist. Like I have a Blockbuster shirt the homie Brandon in Roanoke got me when Blockbuster was around.
Blockbuster is so nostalgic, though.
Right. And so I rocked the Blockbuster shirt and people are like, oh damn. You know what I'm saying? I rocked a Waffle House hat. And people are like, oh shit. You know
I
what I'm
rock a
saying?
Blockbuster shirt.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Man, I know.
Blockbuster pants, man.
I got that shit on the counter or on the hanger at the crib.
khakis with the nice little Blockbuster
yeah.
symbol right down going down the leg. Shit, please, son.
That fucking block, boy, that was hiding movies and shit when you couldn't fucking, when you
Yeah.
knew you had the money right then and there. Like,
Or you'd put it somewhere else and then come find it later.
Shit,
You
got
Put
me
it
were
in
that
the-
asshole.
yeah, because I'd put it in a movie that I know nobody would fucking want to watch. Yeah,
That one that's never moving.
There's a game that I want to play. I'm gonna take this game and I'm gonna put it over here. And then when I come in that fucking Friday afternoon, I know exactly where I'm going. Go into that specific movie and get the game. And some kid is in there like, oh man, I was looking for that. Yeah, too bad, bitch. They played this motherfucker and couldn't beat it.
All right, so now let's move on to this Ivy Minxxx interview. This one's about 15 minutes. This one goes. This one I suspect you're going to have more interesting reactions to because she's an interesting chick.
Gotcha. This is the shorty that you knew from
This is the
Instagram.
one that I follow on the gram from last year. Like when I was I was saying let's get into Exxxotica, let's go. Like I
Yeah.
started following a few people, and she was the only one that was like remotely interesting. I mean,
Gotcha.
you know, a lot of it's just bullshit. But like, I don't know. She's amusing to me. She
Gotcha.
looked like a fun girl. And then I talked to her, and I'm like, oh, she is fun. You know
There
what I
you
mean?
go.
So that was cool. And she's the one that like got these folks that we just listened to like into the game. Essentially.
Yeah, 'cause they was talking about how they met her.
All right, so here we go with that. Pardon the audio.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. I'm with Ivy Minxxx here at the DC Exxxotica 2023.
Anniversary.
How are you doing, Ivy?
I'm doing really good.
That's awesome. I have been following you for the last year or so on Instagram, so I see a lot of the weird stuff you do.
I do a lot of weird stuff. Yeah.
It's like it's highly entertaining.
Thank you. I want to keep you on your toes.
You're a real goof. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
You're trying to have fun out there.
I want to be myself.
And remaining like incognito at the same time. You're like, I'm in some place and nobody knows what I do for a living, and I'm just gonna like. You had something in your mouth, and I was like,
I was
oh, look
actually
at her.
there meeting he's a bartender friend of mine. He was bringing a bunch of his friends from another state into town. And so he's like, my friends are coming, don't do anything weird. And I'm like, all right. As they're walking up to the table, gagging on this piece of rock candy. It was amazing. Long story short, one guy said something stupid, ended up leaving within 2 minutes. I shut him down so fast. So you know I'm a femdom as well. So if you say something stupid, then I'm like, oh, buddy boy, let me
That's fin or fem?
both.
I see.
Both. But I do it ethically. That's my big thing, is I have a moral compass. I'm not going to let you go bankrupt because of me. If you can't support yourself, how are you going to support somebody else?
So do you like ask for bank statements prior to financially dominating someone?
Well, no, there is a thing about personal responsibility of disclosure. So like if they don't tell me, I don't know. But when they do tell me, I care. So it's like it's one of those things.
So I see.
Yeah, like if I don't know, I can't help. But if I do know, I'm like, well, that's
Yeah.
You gotta care, I suppose. They care about you. Why not care about them?
It's nice to have a moral compass about these things.
I would hope so.
And if these guys are into like literally letting you tell them to give them money, I mean
that's one thing, but it's another thing to like jeopardize your livelihood because of you're wanting to please me.
Right. Like
I'm a fictional character on the internet. You know, I barely manifest in real life just for these conventions. Other than that, I'm not real. So like you shouldn't invest that much of yourself into me, but you do know like I do give a certain level of connection. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I care enough to care about your well-being too. There should be a mutual give and take. I believe BDSM truly is about having a dynamic.
So you do some stuff that's a bit aggressive, but you don't like to actually hurt someone.
Not to a point of where
You don't
it's
want them to feel it like months later, like, oh, I shouldn't have let her done that thing.
No, I don't do long-term damage. So light bruising, maybe even
Slight bruising.
I don't know, like a scrape or two is okay, but I'm not going to be comfortable giving you deep tissue bruising because that can lead to internal bleeding. I'm not going to be comfortable giving you nerve damage because shibari can lead to nerve damage when done improperly with suspensions. I've had it. It's awful. I paralyzed my wrist and hand for 2 months.
God damn.
I couldn't move nothing. This was gone.
Hold on, she said she paralyzed her wrist and hands. Both. She said plural.
2 months her hand.
For 2 months.
Yeah.
What the fuck you?
You get your shit tied up and then you fuck up the circulation and the nerves and yeah, it's kind of wild, man.
Nah, see, but I can't do that right there.
Right. I understand.
But hey, it's each their own doing that shit. But damn, that's her thing.
It's one of her things. She likes that shit. She be tying herself up sometime on the internet. She just sort of like does like she'll make like a bikini out of ropes or whatever.
Okay.
So it's like fairly tame, but like she looks good. She's having fun.
Yeah.
Tying yourself up before, and I mean that's.
I've been tying for 4 years.
That's like a risk, I imagine, with that.
It is not as high, but yes, it's definitely a risk regardless of where you are. But I teach safety, so a big part of safety is being, conscious of yourself and others, and what you can and cannot tolerate emotionally, financially, physically, and vice versa. Caring about the other person's boundaries. Without boundaries, we are just lawless, and I love that, but I hate that.
You're like a real professional porn star.
Yeah, we'll go figure. 4 years in the industry, I might know a thing or two.
You got yourself together,
That's my first convention as a core model with Chatterbait. They actually sponsored me to come and do this, so it's really awesome.
Cool.
I'm loving it. I'm really loving it.
So wait a minute.
I'll do more in the future.
So those girls that were out on the outside of the wall, were brought in by
The ones at the Chatterbait booth were asked to be there by Chatterbait.
Well, I'll be there.
Because they're like kind of big deals in the
So
Chatterbait
I guess
community.
the following that they have, I guess, is what puts them up in that rank.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Ivy just crossed 40,000 followers on Chatterbait, and she was live streaming throughout Ohio.
All the people that were outside of that wall, outside and inside the wall, they were all fucking live streaming that whole time we was there.
Yeah. Shout out to Chatterbait and My Free Cams and all the other places that put the fucking thing
What is it,
together.
My Loyal? What is this?
There's My Free Cams.
Loyal Fans.
There's Loyal Fans was there.
Oh, I got Loyal Fans, Bad Dragon,
necklaces and shit.
My Free Cams,
Bad Dragon was doing all the shit over the dungeon and all the
Circuit
seminars.
Mom.
Right. Pineapple Support, Kinky College.
What is this? Cassie?
Chazzy.
Oh, Chazzy.
That was the one that was in the back right corner of the cage.
Cassidy. Here we go. Cassidy. Kinky College.
Yeah, and shout out to the girls from Baltimore that had the schmutz rag or whatever. It was like a cum rag that said "Thanks for coming." It was like,
come on my face, wasn't it? Or come on my towel.
something like that. I can't remember. I didn't get a card. I wanted a card, but I don't think they had one.
Cause that's what me and you saw when we first walked in, was that shit saying, come on my face towel, come on my face, one or two. I'm like, oh, that's gonna cost a lot of money, so they about to hit you in the head for like money on that
Well,
one.
it was dick riding school. That's what it was. They had the dick riding school sign, and I was like, yo, because there was like 3 cute black girls. And I was
Yeah.
like, hey, what's up? I said, I don't know what y'all was selling, but if it wasn't dick riding school, I'd be interested in buying, you know? Like, you know? And they were like, oh, we got something for you too. It's this cum rag. And I was like, oh, shit. And they had like the wheel you could spin to get like some money off.
So wait. Did you get a cum rag?
Yeah, I got a cum rag.
So now you got your dick sucking machine that runs on 10 different things.
And I got
a cum
10
rag.
different options of how to get my
And
dick
a cum
sucked
rag.
God,
and a
this
cum rag.
motherfucker's ready, yo.
Yeah.
I told
You
you I'll
are
be a
fucking
celibate, dog.
fully fucking
Tell you I'll be a
prepared.
celibate or start a porn company. I don't know yet. Probably, I don't know. You know, that's just expensive.
Look,
Like
if-
I said, I got to get the freak girl to make that shit with on the regular.
Again, if you come in with the Forrest Whitaker face,
Right.
that means you
Go
don't went
Forrest
too
Whitaker
far.
eye.
You don't went too far with
Well,
it.
that's why I didn't get the one that had the AI and the ball tickler.
Oh, that would have fucked you up if you had a ball tickler with the AI.
Right.
Oh, that would have messed you home. We would have never seen you no more.
Right. I was like, I can't go with that one.
You would come out completely anorexic, full long gray ass beard, looking out the world like, I am at peace.
We have to skip this weekend.
Yeah, I'd come in
world
literally
is
like
different.
sitting Indian style, floating
Floated in the
in
room,
the air. I'd float in lotus position.
I understand the meaning of everything.
I would literally not be on the couch right now. I would just be sitting Indian style floating, and I'll be like, yo, my balls are so drained right now. I feel so light. And you'd be like, bro, you're floating above ground right now. You're like not touching the
That
ground.
is because
my balls have been drained like they haven't been drained in a while.
my balls are pretty much brand new. I have new balls. My balls have been rejuvenated.
My balls weigh 3 pounds less than they weighed yesterday.
They have been reset. Life makes so much more sense now.
Yes. I was thinking so clear-headed. I was like, God damn, I wish I could get a blowjob every day. Oh, look, I guess I can.
I floated all the way over here to enlighten you, gentlemen.
And it was an easy cleanup, the whole thing, man. It was a good device, dog. It's a good device. I'm happy with that shit.
Easy cleanup.
Easy
cum
cleanup.
towel.
Cum towel. I got the whole deal
This
going
man
on.
got
I haven't
that.
used the cum towel for cum. I stick them with paper towels because they're a lot easier to throw away.
This man has everything except for the lavender candle.
I don't need that lavender candle. I'll be down like the Jew.
And some slow jazz.
Soft jazz.
Some soft jazz.
Yeah, I'm gonna put on the soft jazz, get my dick sucked.
Oh my
Hey,
God.
look, I said the booty gonna come home. Oh man, this cat in his face. Fuck.
Tell you, ain't nothing like the smooth jazz with the candle going, man.
Okay, I mean, you know, I might have to put on some.
Either with a woman or yourself, man. It really
But here's the
is.
thing though. Because, all right,
And a
so
lavender too, shit, bro.
you got 10 different levels, so you gotta go through each one of those levels.
I've
to
been
figure-
through 'em.
God damn!
I was playing with one of them. The suck. It was so cool, dude. It would suck down, and then it would would push back off. It was crazy. I don't know. I was like, yo, this is wild,
It's
right?
a hand-free device too.
No, it ain't hands-free. I got to hold it. But like,
This
you know.
motherfucker said he had already been through all 10 phases.
I was like trying to figure out how to work the thing.
Like, one is two.
Because like it was like, you know, turn it on and let it heat for 10 minutes, right? And I was like, all right, well, let that motherfucker sit for 10 minutes. And I threw a little thing up in there and started doing my thing. And then it was like, oh, hey, all right. I was like trying not to like, I don't know. I was trying not to like rush the experience, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, you gotta try it out, bro.
Yeah, I was trying to enjoy the thing, you know. So I'd turn it on for a bit and they'd be like, oh, whoa, getting close, better stop, see how, you know, like, whoa, hey, whoa.
So this man is edging.
I'll be edging myself with the blowjob machine, which I'm sure Lisa would tell me is going to make me no workable at all for any woman in real life. And I'm like, it's still, the key is the same. The stroke is sucked at the same time. Girl, Ben told you that shit.
No, here's the thing though, man. Like, fucking, you get with a girl, but hey, come here. I want you to use this on me tonight. And hand her the machine.
Watch this setting. This is what I need you to do.
Yeah.
All right, just bring a cucumber and then pop it in and be like, now watch what this does. All right, this is my favorite.
No, but there's like, I don't know. There's
Try
like,
it out.
there's like a number on the side, right?
Now, can you mix and match your numbers?
Yes, there's two. Here's how it works.
So wait a minute, that
there's
even
the stroke.
changes.
The stroke is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
And the suck is like 10, 20, 30, or 40 or 50, right?
Okay.
So like you could have it'll be like 5-1 or 3-2 or you know what I'm saying? Like you could like fuck with the different.
So that,
I haven't hit all the possible combos, you know what I'm saying? But I've been
Because
through each function on each one, you know, because you can do one or the other at once. You can turn it on suck without having it stroke. You know what I'm saying? Or you can have it stroke without sucking.
So
or you
you're
can have it.
looking at-
You can have it
hold on.
suck without the heat.
You're looking at about 125 different ways to use that
There's a lot of
motherfucker.
combos.
There's some options.
Oh, this fucker's floating in our air.
Yeah, dude, I'm
These are-
feeling mad good, yo. I didn't move off the bed when I was done with it for like 10 minutes. I was like,
This
goddamn, I'm
look,
gonna lay here.
This motherfucker's gonna have a backpack and he's gonna be just walking up the side of the road like fucking Bruce Banner.
I'm gonna be like Lisa's
Back in
friend
the
going to
day.
the bathroom at work.
Oh, that's gonna be funny. He gonna be at work, but hey, yo, I gotta go.
Hold up, man. I need my lunch break right
He
quick.
gonna be like Pookie. He gonna be
Well,
standing
you
up.
always take a book bag in the lunch in the bathroom with you.
And what's that noise?
He's gonna be at the couch that's like this, scratching like, yo, shit, man, what time is it? What time? Yeah, I gotta go. Yeah, I gotta
Smack it
go.
up against the goddamn cubicle in there in the bathroom. What the hell's going on in the bathroom?
Absolutely.
That's when he leans over. That's when the eye twitch hit. He's like, oh shit.
Yup.
He hit combo 355. Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Making notes to
Yeah,
himself.
32.5, 10 minutes in. And
Comes
that's,
home with all kinds of numbers on his back of his hand.
he
and
done wrote
shit.
down, like,
He's playing GTA San Andreas in the 90s on this motherfucker right here. Contra cheat codes and shit. Blah, blah, blah. Yo, what you got going on over here, bro? This is my
that's
sentence.
the way I like it, girl. I need you to do that
This is my
5.
sentence, boo.
I need you to do 5 for 5 minutes, and then I need 1 5 for 3 minutes.
Got a setting board at the crib. He just got his little post-it notes up on that bitch. Bam.
Looking at him like, okay,
335, that's a good one.
And ranking them, Like,
Yeah.
all right, let me move this
Yeah.
one over here. This one, you got a new
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah, there's a whole board. It's like I'm like the FBI hunting for like
Yeah.
organized crime.
Got the
I'm trying to
story
figure
going
out.
too?
Right.
So
I'm trying to figure out which one works best.
Okay, so 3, 4, 5.
I got a picture of a 3 and I got a picture of a 3 5.
2, 9, 7, 1. Okay, bad. Here we go. This is the one right here. Oh man, that's some funny shit, bro. You can mix and match. Yeah, you were
Yeah,
gonna be
dude.
fucked
Yeah,
up,
bro. Yeah.
Let this motherfucker get snowed in this year.
Oh, yeah,
Let him
he gonna have a blast.
Man, this motherfucking leg gonna be twitching and
Nah,
shit.
dude, I'm gonna use that thing and take a nap for 3 hours, bro. That's a whole nother thing right there.
He
Yeah.
gonna put himself in a coma. What happened to Mason, man? He tried combo 480.
Yeah.
That one put him down.
Yeah.
He ain't been out yet.
No, I'm gonna go back next year and buy the ball tickling AI one and really
Oh,
be
you
fucking
really gonna be
lost.
fucked up,
Yeah, I'm
man,
really gonna be
yeah.
lost to the fucking game.
That's
I'm like,
what-
man, I'm bringing 300 just for another dick sucking machine.
AI has tickled my balls.
All right, let's
I
listen.
don't need you no more.
Let's listen to
bitch.
more of this conversation here. That's enough about my jerk off machine.
Right on. fun. Yeah, you seem to be like jumping in as far as you can as
Balls
you're going.
deep.
Right
I am
on.
balls deep.
Balls deep into porn. I mean, once Badge is out there
Well,
in
technically,
public,
I'm not balls deep, so I'd
Let
be
it
doing
fly.
anal by now if I was balls deep, but, you know, I'm still an anal virgin.
you're still an anal
I'm
virgin.
still an anal virgin,
And like
so
in the porn or real life and both.
both.
Okay, good for you.
I've done like butt plugs and stuff like that, a little bit of fingering, but no dick in the ass yet. So that's one thing. I'm not,
Yeah.
I guess, true porn star yet.
well, like you're like
I'm pretty much there.
fairly
Right.
light and small. I would, you know.
I'm a gaper. It'll open right up, so I'm already prepared. Like, I know when I start doing anal, it's over. I'm a professional slut. Like, I am a whore then.
God
I think
damn.
that's why I hold back. I'm like, I'm scared to do anal because then I'm really
So
am
then
that
that's the
bitch. I'm a whore
label.
now. I'm
Yeah,
okay with it, but I'm also scared of it.
So that's like
It's a big power to have.
it's like the full tip over.
Yeah, it's like
and you
you're
recognize
committed.
it. So like, are you saving the booty hole for someone particular in the industry, or are you just waiting?
I'm
until
seeking
you're
out
like,
the right person. I don't.
see.
There's no one in particular that I'm waiting for, but there's like I will know when I know. You know, it's special though. The right person will get it, and a lot of people want it. I will tell you what, people have been begging for it. I know a female town who've been like trying to get a taste of it. And, like,
You know,
no.
like I'm the kind of guy that prefers.
Yeah, not even taste. She even offered a
It
little
stays
bit.
tight. It helps.
Right, but
yeah.
if a lady's like, "Hey, throw it in my
Fuck me
ass,"
in the
I'm not gonna be like,
No.
You take that booty hole and go
I mean,
somewhere
but you
else.
should probably still wear a condom while you do that, just in case. You
Yeah,
know.
it's kind of a good
If
thing
she's
to
being
do.
spontaneous, she probably didn't flush.
Yes.
Because you gotta really back. That's why I also don't want to do anal. It's
You
because
don't
of
want to pull out a
cleanup.
plum.
No, you don't. That's
Not a good
not a
thing.
soup you want to eat. I'm so good about that. No. But it's a lot of work. There's a second chamber, you know. When you're doing an enema.
When you're enema and
Yeah, you have to, there's a second part, and it goes into a second
So wait a
chamber.
minute. So it's like you push it in a certain amount.
Yes,
And then you're like, I'm not all the
Your
way there.
butthole sucks up into another place, and then you have to keep going to get that emptied out too. It's so wild. That's why I'm like, I don't know if I want to do anal. I've talked to some true anal queens, like real professional anal stars, and I'm like, what do you have to do? And they're like, oh my god, girl, I take Levodium and all. I'm like, whoa.
Gotta flush all that shit out.
Relax it back out. It's so much work.
It sounds like way more work
Bro,
than you
anal
would ever
is,
ask
like,
anyone to ever
belligerent.
do for me. I'd be like, hey, we just have vaginal sex and call it a day.
That's kind of how I think about it too. Plus, my pussy's so much better. Like, just say,
Hey, I believe
don't
it.
do Kegels every day for nothing. It is they're cutouting tight.
It is good.
That's an amazing, awesome thing.
I've never had any complaints, and plenty of people suffer deeply with that early premature orgasm. What's it called?
yeah,
Premature
the premature
ejaculation.
ejaculation.
Yeah.
So you cause them more often than you would like to?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to come. I would love to be able to come more often, but even a cock ring can't stop what I'm capable of.
Well, you know, like in real
I'm
life,
greedy.
in my real world, if I'm with the lady, like I try to get her off before I have sex with her.
Ideally, but sometimes it's just like I don't give them the time. I'm like, let me suck your dick and then fuck me, but then you're not gonna last.
Yes.
That's my fault. I do it to myself.
100%.
I've ruined it for me.
If you give me like really good oral and then you stick it in your vagina, I'm absolutely coming quickly.
And it happens. I don't know. That makes sense now. That's why I've ruined my own sex life by being too
Yeah,
young.
it makes sense now.
She's so fun.
Yeah, I
She's
ruined my
cracking
own
me up.
sex life. You take anal. If you take anal, you're basically a slut whore. That's what you are, man. Once you go anal, that's professional. So, man, these bitches out here that ain't taking it in the ass, you ain't professional.
You're not full committed to the process of being full on professional porn
Just
star,
flush your booty hole before you pull out a plum.
right? And that was an interesting thing. I'm like, oh, look at that. There's like multiple chambers in there. Like
Yeah,
that's what the
I guess
real
so.
pros know. You know, like that's what the service of the Mason and French show is right now. Ladies, if you're out there, you want your man to bang you in the booty hole. Don't forget, there's a second chamber. You need to enema deeper.
You gotta clean it out.
You might think you're all the way in there, but you're not. That's what that's indicating.
You can go further. You might need help. Push it in, shove it in, all the way in.
Yeah, there you go, Mike. All right, here we go.
I'm too tight of a pussy.
Well, let me. No,
No.
there's nothing wrong with that. But if I was gonna all right, say I was involved with you and I wanted to tell you how to like maybe get us to have more orgasms together, it would be, let me go down on you first, then have sex with you.
But what if
and
they're
then you
bad
can
at
suck
giving
me off
head?
at
It's
the end.
almost as worse.
But it's like the opposite.
Or
Go the
buy a
opposite
motor
way.
bunny and let me sit on that while watching a movie, and then I'll be ready.
Motor bunny.
Have you ever know what motor bunny is?
The what?
The motor bunny?
The motor bunny.
She got
I don't think I've
plans.
seen that one. There was a
like
table over here where they had a bunch of stuff, but I don't think they had one
They're
of
not
those.
here this time, I don't think, but I just got one recently. I have the buck. It doesn't get buck machine, but you sit on it like a Sibian. You mount it.
Right.
And it has like a car motor basically inside of that thing. And I'll tell you what, you will not, you will finish on that. You will have to finish finish on that. It's impossible not to.
Right, but it would like in like the concept of like if I'm
And foreplay, I mean, it's like very kinky foreplay, I guess.
Right, but if I'm in a relationship with a girl,
Yeah.
like, then, and I've got her using that all the time, isn't it going to be more difficult for me to get her off, like, outside of that realm?
Hey,
That's the
maybe.
theory that I've always heard, but I've never really...
Maybe, but also, overstimulation leads to better sensations. If she's already overstimulated, tiny...
That's true. The more overstimulated you get, the harder you come.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And
that's
as long as
pretty
like,
fucking
you
awesome.
time it right, you can probably get her before she's overstimulated completely, and then the last one will be your big orgasm.
Right, and that's kind of the way I like to do it.
And you don't have to
in
work
my
as
personal
hard.
life. Like, and that's
Yeah.
like if I was going to get into the industry, that's how I would try
Let
to do it.
machines help you come.
Right.
Well, you already did that part.
Too, and help us all come
Like,
part.
it'll save your back, not her knees though. Knee pads for it if you want. But yeah, I'm just saying, there's all kinds of wonderful missionary master tools out there to help us have a better sex life. You don't have to use them. I recommend it. You don't have to.
So you
I
can
do.
save
I have
your
a
back, but not
$6,000
your
sex toy
knees.
collection and growing. I'm a big toy collector.
Well, but I mean, you're in the industry where I would expect you to have a toy collection.
I started collecting before I started doing porn though. Like barely before, but
But
yeah.
that's how you sort of like, we're like, you know what, maybe this is a direction
I knew I was going to do porn before I was an adult.
Oh, okay.
I was committed to the bit. I was like, I want to do this when I'm older. That was my dream career, and I pursued it, and I'm doing it well. I sound so silly. I kept it in the closet for a long time, but I told my friends in school, I was like, yeah, I want to be a porn star. And I joked about it, but I didn't ever, like, I don't know, but I pursued it, and it worked out.
I can relate. I've been joking about it for like a long time on a
You gotta
podcast.
stick your balls deep in there and go.
I mean, I just might.
It's mostly
Stick your balls deep in there and go.
Be consistent and very
That's a shirt
consistent. I work
itself.
12 hours a day usually. I'm not exaggerating.
You're
Look at my
putting a
screen
lot
time.
of content out, and that's something like
Not as much as other people.
well, like as a content creator, I do a podcast a couple of weeks.
Other people are like, they have managers, assistants, people that edit their videos and upload them. If you're a one-man show like me, where you're doing all of those tasks by yourself,
Right.
you can really not, you can't release that much. You'll burn out.
Yeah, no.
In the long run, 4 years down the road, you
I'm
will.
doing 2 40 to 50 minute episodes a week, multi-camera shoot.
I would cut it down to one if I were you. I know it sounds rough. I would do one with or maybe 2 videos a week, but one with lesser maintenance.
Well, like we like doing it.
Or you could do like
more like-
it's for your pleasure.
Right, it's more of like it's fun for me and my friends that
Yeah.
we do it, so I'm not even really contemplating how
Yep.
The time is being spent.
right, like
Yeah.
how will I be better
That's the opera in the
maximized?
background.
That's Dick Trans Dyke in the
That's
background
the
singing.
opera in the
With blow
background.
up, with blow
With
up
the
balloons and
balloons.
shit.
And the actor, that's him.
That's hysterical.
I was like, wait a minute, I know that shit.
Well, because yeah,
That was
like,
something else.
that's funny because we can now
Pinpoint where we were
pinpoint
at.
where we were at what time.
You was because that was right after that is when we came and found you.
Yeah, y'all were.
you
That's
were
funny.
still talking to her.
Because I was still talking to her when
Yeah.
y'all rolled up. I remember I turned around, there you were, and I was like, all right, look at that. There's the homies. That's what's up.
Yep. Goddamn, Dick Van. What
Dick
the fuck?
Trans
Goddamn, I
Dyke.
keep fucking his name up.
Ah, yeah, that dude's a trip.
Dick Trans Dyke.
Dick Trans Dyke.
Shout out to Dick Trans Dyke for making it in the interview. He made it in the background.
The audio isn't bad though. I thought it'd be worse because that was before you even got on them to cut the music and shit down.
No, it was. Oh yeah, maybe
this
it was.
before that.
It might have
We were
been.
up at the stage prior to that.
Yeah,
That's how
and
that's how we ran Dick Trans Dyke because he came on after whoever the fuck we was watching.
Cause that shit was thumping, and then when we got together with you, that was right after that.
So we rolled back over there,
Well,
and
we
then I
went
went.
back over there.
I went and accosted the guys in the fucking in the showroom or
Cause
whatever.
fucking we was there, and you was like, man,
The
fuck
control
this,
room.
and I thought you went that way, but then I look up and I see you beelining, and I'm like, oh, he about to tell them about their sound. And then we lost you when you got around the side. We ain't even see where you went to.
because I had scouted out the control space earlier because I was tempted to tell him, but I wanted to give him a chance to get it under control.
Yeah.
I didn't want to just run up on him 5 minutes into the thing and be like, hey, stupid, turn your shit down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then I went back there and was yelling at him. I went back, I was a little fired up, but I wasn't like being a dick. But I just
Yeah.
went back there and was like, yo, who's in charge?
Because that
Y'all
was
need
after,
to turn that motherfucking sound
that
down,
was
dog.
after the IPA.
I said, you splitting the ears up in this motherfucker.
Yeah, that was after the IPA.
Yeah, and then I pulled out the podcast card and was like, look, I'm an audio professional, and y'all are hurting people's ears out here right now.
Nah.
Y'all got to get this shit under control.
'Cause
And
you
the one dude was giving me shit. He was like, what, you want me to throw you out? I said, go on, motherfucker. I'll be back tomorrow. Shit.
Basically.
We were laughing. Like, it was funny. You know,
Yeah.
he wasn't like really threatening to throw
The
me
dude that
out.
was on the mic, The little short blonde
the dude
guy?
with the mic, he came up to me at one
That
point.
was like hosting all
and
that
was like,
shit.
yeah, no, you're right. I got a podcast too. We got to do something about this.
Oh, did you give him a card?
I did.
All right, yeah.
I gave a lot of people cards.
He seemed to be all right guy, man. He was
He was alright. He's a good hype man.
the one girl that got up there last during the amateur joint that fucking actually did the damn thing like she was supposed to, because she had on fucking sneakers, like some Skechers, where she went up there and jumped in the air, landed on the stage.
Oh, yeah, the
Because
dancer
the dude
chick, yeah.
said, man,
The
I
one that
ain't
did the
ate yet.
splits?
Yeah, and he gave her extra time, was like, look, I ain't ate yet. You
And he
know,
was all like, alright, coming down, 3,
2,
3.
2,
Yeah, 2.
2.
Yeah, no one understands what you're talking about.
He was counting her down because there was 15 contestants, right?
Oh, and she hadn't shown up yet? So he just
Everybody got
2 minutes, I think.
2 minutes each. Well, this girl, she was the best, obviously, out of all of them, and she basically shut it down. He just gave her more time, so he was like, "Okay, 10 seconds." You know, there was 3.
And then a minute later, he'd be like, 10 seconds.
2. A 2. And stretch that shit out like she did the damn thing. I can't remember her name though, because I thought I wrote it down, but I didn't.
Knocked you left.
No, he said her name, but she threw everybody off when she came out there and she shut that stage down.
Well, yeah, because everybody wasn't doing shit.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it was a time.
It's alright.
It's a good time. I got a few more minutes left on this.
Go ahead.
We'll keep
run
going.
it.
Monetarily, if I do it this way or that way, it's like I like doing it like this, so I'm doing it like that. And if it blows up, it blows up. If it doesn't, it doesn't. No big deal.
Have you thought about marketing your podcast in new places and new ways? Like uploading shorts of your like the best moments of your clips, like 30 seconds, 10 seconds of TikTok,
I
Instagram.
100% have, but that's like where you're saying do
That's the
one.
marketing editing
Because
is
if I
hard.
went to one, it was maybe an hour long. Then I could maybe find clips during the week after I do my one video
Yeah.
and put those
You
out.
can also go
Yep.
through your backlogs and just do it in the past, or hire someone
Yes.
to do that for you. That's why you can't grow without having a staff.
Yes.
And I'm surprisingly solo. Never had a staff.
I'm
for my life.
so agreeing
Yeah,
with you on that.
before?
Like I've said it for
It's
years.
unfortunate.
If I had a staff, I would make this and this happen.
I know,
You
and I
know?
wish it were easier, but also, you know, you gotta pay staff. You can't just have you like, hey, want to help me with this for free? Like, no, I need to give you money, so I have to. It's a circle, right? You have to blow up to get staff, but you also need staff to blow up, and
Right. It's a vicious
perpetual.
cycle. That's right.
Yeah.
And like where the traction hits and gets you to the point where you
Yeah,
get over the
what you
hump to
sound.
like.
You can blow me every now and then. You know what I mean?
Yes, you. I see what you're saying.
You can help
Like,
me, I'll help you. Or,
here,
or
let me
you can-
help you with your videos and bang me on occasion.
Or
I
like
see what you're
$20
saying.
or something. We'll go out and get a drink or something. Like not no crazy shit. You know what I mean? You don't
Yeah,
give me
yeah.
$300. I'll edit your shit. You know.
Well,
for a
it's
drink at dinner or something,
interesting.
you know
What
I
is
mean?
interesting that I did mention that to a different chick that was like, you should totally throw your hat in there trying to get editing jobs because there's bad editors out there. And I'm like,
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
no, because like that might be a much more feasible angle because then I don't have to worry about any kind of like legality shit. I'm just cutting shit
Yeah,
together
you
and,
just cutting and
and
putting
sending it back to them.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you figure half of them don't want to do that shit at all, and they'll just pay a motherfucker.
Well,
all
plus,
the
you
side
already
and
know
everything.
because you've been through the fucking trials and tribulations of editing shit. You're like, man, you know.
I know how to do it now.
Yeah. But you're able to do it in a systematic way where it's easier for you to understand versus somebody that's like, man, fuck, I gotta do this shit on my own.
Well, like, because it takes a while to grasp how to do different stuff.
Oh yeah.
And then it's like, to me, I could totally grasp if you had 2 or 3 cameras on 5 different scenes that took 10 minutes of shooting per scene, but you only want about 3 minutes of each scene cut up into the thing. You want the real good digging down and looking down and all that shit.
You want it to be
You don't
smooth.
want all the conversation of leading up. Okay, let me turn you over here and then do it like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't want all that bullshit in the
Right,
mix.
oh wait a minute, he went limp. Yo, hook him back up. Somebody warm him up.
I might put together a basic card next year of like audio editing, you know, like holler at your boy or kind
Be
of
like,
thing.
man, hey, he needs the AI tickler. Bring it. He needs the AI tickler
Yeah,
on
just
set.
get me a good blowjob machine and I'll totally do a bunch of work for you.
AI tickler on set. Stage A. Come on now. Let's get it going. We
right,
gotta get this cum shot for this bitch.
All right, here we go.
Can be in the money per se.
It's over dedicating yourself until you get it, or getting dumb lucky on TikTok. Dumb luck or for dedication.
Well, that's why I'm looking for people that might want to come on the show and talk about
And
things.
more dumb luck will occur.
Exactly. That's why I'm here. Like,
You have a good personality. I'm pretty typical to talk to usually. Like, I'm them dumb, like I said, so I can be a little bit like, huh, okay,
Well,
this
like,
guy's a joke. But no, you're a good guy.
That kind of stuff turns me on the slightest bit. That I'm
Good,
like,
it should,
I
it
can
should.
deal with it. You know, like Dom is fine to a degree, but like, you know,
The thin?
fine, like the
Okay, other than, feminine dominance
It's like
is like my specialty.
I'm aware of like the FEM and the FIN.
Yeah, one's financial, and
Right.
it's often done incorrectly.
I would imagine.
It's supposed to be you help them manage and book their like accounting. Like you're basically a sexy accountant, and you take the leftover for yourself. But now we just bankrupt people. I'm like, that's not what this is supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's not right.
It's such a
But it's a kink, so I guess you gotta live with it, right?
yeah. People live into some wacky stuff, and if
They
you're
do.
like fully willing to like let yourself be bankrupted by some cute chick,
Or the
like
industry's mindsets. I mean, the models are bankrupting themselves with like this type of morality
Yes.
complex. Like I think it's karma, right? Like it'll eventually catch up to you.
it's gonna come back around if
It
you're
will.
that much of a piece of shit to somebody.
I definitely
Like,
believe it.
If
Yeah.
you're bankrupting people on a weekly basis, it's bound. Karma is gonna find you.
It will. It will hunt you down.
Right.
Maybe not tomorrow.
It might
but
not financially bankrupt you, but it's gonna do something.
emotionally. You won't even connect the dots. It'll be so bad.
Yeah.
But bless their hearts for trying. I guess you can't help them for
Well,
wanting
like,
to do it.
I can totally appreciate the folks that are trying to provide people what they want.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
and if somebody really wants them to like trample them or whatever kind of crazy stuff, like, hey, look, you know,
But that's
whatever
what
floats your boat.
BDSM has a limit between fantasy and reality and what we tolerate.
Yeah, like them motherfuckers get kicked in the balls too, don't they?
They're out there.
I don't understand that one.
Yeah, like there's a lot of
That's the
people.
one I really don't get. Is motherfuckers just getting punched in the balls. I think there was somebody that did that while we was there. That one joint where dude, I don't think he got punched in the balls. I think it looked like he might have got punched in the balls.
Well, I can tell you, like, I think it was on Saturday, Ivy said to me that she saw some dude over in there one time in Jersey, I guess, was jerking off in his pants to some person, like, right there. And the guy came all in his
Had his
pants, and
hand
then
in
they
his pocket.
dragged him out of there. Yeah, he was, like, pocket pooling and
Pocket.
shit.
Yo.
Yeah.
Look.
They be dealing with some live action.
That's the kind of shit I thought we was gonna run into. Was like, man, some motherfucking perv is gonna be up there whacking off. Like when I had to go to the bathroom, I'm like, man.
You was like, somebody gonna drill a hole in the wall, be in there sucking dick.
the one that was in the back. So we're back here behind the stage. Like this is where I saw the bitch. I'll show you the video with the bitch that had the whips, right? Bruh, I walk in the bathroom.
I don't know where she went. I never heard her
She
whipping
never
nobody.
went. She
But
wasn't
was
on
whipping the
stage.
fuck out of him in the back. I
She
heard that
was-
shit. I'm like, damn.
I go to the bathroom and I'm like, wait a minute. I seen a whole bunch of motherfucking like the dude strippers go in here, but I never seen a single dude stripper come out. I'm like, they probably getting coked up or something right now. That was the first thing that went in my head. Then I was like, they might be doing some other shit, but I'm like, man, I gotta piss like a motherfucker. I'm not walking all the way back up front. I went on back and I pissed. I wash my hands or whatever. I come out and I hear cow, 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 like the whips
Crack,
smacking.
crack, crack.
Bitch was cracking.
And I look up, and this bitch is literally out there just cracking the whips on the floor. And I'm like, I'm the only motherfucker here seeing this shit. Like, this can't be what. I thought I was tripping at first. So I'm like, I walk out the bathroom, and it's just me and this bitch with the whips, and she's like in the Catwoman suit. And I'm like, damn, she look good, but I ain't going over there hollering because she got the whips, but she still look good. I'm going to just record this bitch, right? So then this little short brother comes around the corner. And he's looking too. He pulls his phone. I'm like, all right, cool. You see the same shit I see, right? He's like, hell yeah.
You're like, this is really happening, right?
Yeah, but it tripped me out because this dude is a short motherfucking brother with red hair and freckles. And I'm like, you see the same shit? He's like, yeah, man. He goes, 400 years, man. They was hitting us with them, but goddamn, I might take one of them right now from her. I'm like, man, something wrong with you, bro, because I ain't getting there with no goddamn whip.
Look, man, people like what they like, dog. It ain't got nothing to do with none of that
Bruh,
shit.
nah,
What makes your dick hard? What makes your pussy wet? That's what does it for people.
If you getting whipped like an actual whip,
And not make your dick hard, but that bitch, if that bitch hit somebody with a whip, fuck you.
For me, dude, you know what makes
you hit the ground, motherfucker, you bleeding.
Yeah. That's what when I was in the dungeon shit, like the next day the girl was saying like, you know, when the whip cracks, it's the break into the sound barrier, and if you're actually taking that impact, it's splitting skin, it's cutting you up.
Absolutely.
She's like, I don't want to do that to anybody. That's bad. That's like what Ivy was saying. She'll do a little bit of damage, but she don't want to do any major damage to you.
I think the bitch was working on her wrist work because she was trying to get it to crack every time she flung the whip, but she had two of them in her hand. Yeah, I'm like, bitch, you need to work on.
Well, that's a talent though. Trying to make them both crack. She could probably do it one by itself. But to get the double grip action going on at the same time. It's like,
I mean, she was back
like when Steph Curry be dribbling two balls at the same time. That's what that bitch
it's the same thing.
All right, we got a couple more minutes left with Ivy, and then we have to wrap the show up.
So they weren't getting too close. But yeah, so just because you want it to happen and you're willing to pay for it and you think you can do it safely does not mean you really can.
Right.
So like setting someone on fire, like them jump into a chlorine-filled pool, not safe, not ethical, no matter what way you line it up or phrase it. You gave him third-degree burns or second-degree burns all over his entire body. This is a true story. This happened like 2 weeks ago on Twitter, maybe. And I'm like, that's not dominance. That's like a criminal. Like you're pretty much just saying you want to kill people without actually saying it.
Yeah.
And I don't tolerate that in my community, and no one in the real BDSM world would. But in this industry, we don't often see the ethical guidelines we follow as a lifestyle person. Like, I go to BDSM Club, I'm a lifetime member. I've been teaching classes on safe sex for 2 years now, and practicing for almost 5. I can't step that. I don't know. I just can't.
She said is she practicing safe sex for 5?
That's what she said.
Because that's how I got it. It was like,
teaching for 2, practicing for 5.
But I've been practicing safe sex for 5. So the first 5 years before that, you wasn't practicing safe sex?
She's early 20s, dog. She ain't been doing it that long.
Okay, it makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's. I would like to have her on to talk more, but I'm pretty sure that she hit 18 and jumped right in.
Okay, because like I said, I didn't know how old she was, and now that makes
she's
sense.
Early 20s.
I'm trying to figure out.
It's not like the other couple that have been at it for years and then decided to put it out.
Gotcha.
I want to see us do better. If we're going to pretend to be dominant women, we need to actually walk the walk and talk the talk. You can't hurt people because they give you money. You know, you can't violently do it.
I feel like so many people want to hurt people in general.
Yeah.
That like
we have rage, you know, some anger from other people that didn't hurt us.
And it's like you seem to have a good personality. Like you're not going to get too caught up in it hurting people or whatever.
No,
but
that's not what I get off on.
Right, but it seems like there's.
I get off on like people's limits being pushed, but not broken.
There's a great opportunity for people out there that do want to hurt somebody.
Yeah, I mean,
in this industry.
Hurt is a weird term, right? Because I can hurt you without damaging you.
Oh yeah.
I will hurt you, but I won't break you. I will not break you beyond my repair. Because I have to make sure that you're good afterwards. And if it takes more than a day or 2 to heal, I can't ensure that I'll be there. Because I have a job in life. I don't want to be unethical, so I have to stay there.
You want us to come back around too? If you're smacking somebody around.
If you give them a concussion or like injury of some sort, it's like not kinky, not fun, not manageable. Then they're gonna hate BDSM and or go through dangerous cycles of more intense things. It goes through waves. Like it can go one of many directions, but typically it's either they quit or they go harder, more extreme, and so they die. And funny enough, people forget this. If you kill someone doing BDSM, even if they consented, it's still a crime.
Yeah, right. You didn't consent to death.
Even if you did, it's still a crime. You cannot consent to death.
Right.
Yeah, you cannot. And if you get like a broken bone or injury and you go to the hospital, they can still press charges.
Sure.
Even if you claim you don't want them, they're going to file a police report regardless.
So like they can tell you, break my arm, and you can break it, and then they can still come
after you. They have to go to the hospital and explain it, and then if they're going to try everything in their power to have a case.
Plus, depending on where you are, whatever state may or may not want to come after you for it on their own level.
Yeah, they're worried about you being a danger to society.
Right.
So we have to really be a good example, or we're going to lose it all. I mean, we don't have practice if we don't do it right.
Right.
So I don't know. I wish we had like a requirement course. If you have to know all these things to take these like ethical classes or whatever, ethics and morals classes of consent and boundaries before you become a femdom, but that's never going to happen.
But she got a point there with that.
Yeah.
That is a very, very valid fucking, like, that makes sense.
Well, and she says here in a second, there's like clubs that only hire people that have like, that higher level of education and things, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, she's an interesting chick, man. I really enjoyed talking to her.
That was some valid shit right there in that one.
Clubs will do it. Like private BDSM clubs, yes, they only hire certain staff typically to do what they do. So if you are interested in expanding your kinky dreams in the desires outside of the bedroom, look into that life and find your local BDSM club and find out what they offer. You might be surprised what you'll learn from true lifestylists rather than just a sex worker. Porn is a fantasy. You want to find someone a little more realistic.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Right.
Or find creators who make content that's fantastically produced and based off of realistic BDSM, like mine.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was like, in the thing where they were talking about how to break in, I'm like, well, if I was going to do it, I would just have to do my own thing.
You got to. You got to
and
break
be
through with something
independent.
new.
And because, like, I'm halfway to my own, I do my own production on shit anyway, so, like, I can buy a couple of nicer cameras and do something that looks good, and it could be something, but,
Absolutely.
you know.
This has been like a really awesome conversation. I thank you so much.
I thank you.
Yes.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so, there's like a whole thing that's going on out there, and there's some pretty cool people doing it.
So you got, because, okay. So do you remember the girl that we met at the Cannabis Festival that had the fucking shorts that said "fuck me"?
Yeah.
She does some adult shit. She's like in some safe, what is it? She was at a glory hole not too long ago. But she does that BDSM shit and all that stuff too.
Right. There's a lot of folks
I thought
doing
we would actually run into her there. That's what I thought I would. But
She might have been there. I mean, there's a lot of people we might have walked right by.
Probably,
you know what I mean?
She would have probably made herself noticeable like she did when she was at Cannabis. But her ass stuck out more at Cannabis than it would have over here.
Right, she'd have been a dime a dozen at this thing.
Yeah.
But, with all that said, I think we got to wind this episode up. We're just about out of time. Gone a little over.
Yeah.
Thanks to the interviews. Big ups to Bear and Butterfly, and big up to Ivy Minxxx.
Yeah, Bear and Butterfly.
And that's, you can follow Ivy Minxxx on chatterbait.com/IVYMINXXX. And, I don't have a. Wait a minute. Here we go. Nope. I don't have a address for the Bear and Butterfly thing for Chatterbait like that. But hey, these folks have given good interviews. I appreciated their time. I very much enjoyed talking with Ivy. She was totally delightful. And I saw her more on Saturday, and she was cool then too. So, hopefully everybody that was there did well, made some money, got some new followers, had a good time, enjoyed themselves, didn't be made to feel lesser than by douchebag idiots. And, we had a good time. We'll be back if they come back. I think anyway. I'm going again next year.
Yeah, we'll check it out.
You know what I'm saying? We do it again just like we did this
time. Just like we did with the fucking festival.
Exactly. And that's what this is all about. I think
testing the waters. Okay, now we figured out what worked, what didn't work. Now let's go back and put some things together to make it all
and I think we can shoot for like slightly shorter interviews with people than I did with Ivy. And then, but like that's if I have more of a plan. Plus, I was just getting to know that girl. She was cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, it would be, we just got to plan this out more better.
Yeah.
But that's all, we be winging it till we get it figured out. So, thank you so very much for listening.
Yep.
And be nice to people that look like you. Be nice to people that don't look like you. Don't be a dick.
Little bits by little bits, ladies and gentlemen. Keep moving forward.
That's right. Keep grinding on the things that you're trying to get done, because that's how they get done.
We believe in you.
All right. Don't forget, we love you very, very much. We wish you nothing but the best.
All day, every day.
And peace be with you.
Gone.